What's up, guys? Today we're going to talk about how to two-man Prince Tenorus Mercblood in Karazhan, the special event boss, as a Death Knight to get your Arcanite Ripper Axe. This axe is actually a great two-hander to get started out with as you're farming your Brutal Gladiator weapon, or as long as you're trying to get your like Apollyon or Fellspine, whatever. And of course, the real exclusive part of this is that it is only available for the next 2 weeks, and it comes with this awesome on-use effect that turns you into an undead that's just shredding a guitar. Either way, today we're going to talk about how you can two-man this boss as a Death Knight. Now, the boss itself is inside of Karazhan. I'll show you guys how to get there, but traditionally people go in there with entire raids. The boss only drops one of these axes a week, and we only have 3 resets. 3 because Blizzard actually released this boss early. It was supposed to be on Tuesday, this week's reset. They actually released the boss early, so we get 3 shots at getting this, which means if you're going in there with like 4 Death Knights, 2 Paladins, a Druid, everyone's gonna roll on it. Just go in there with one of your buddies, grab the axe, and then next reset, go grab the axe for the other person. It's really easy. I'm going to show you how to get to this boss. He's by Morose's room. So up the stairs, and then you actually need to keep moving through the kitchen. So you will see I'm going to use an invisibility potion, but you don't actually need to do this. As a duo, you can easily kill all of these adds if you're running any of the specific duos. I personally am going to say this right away. I think the best duo to do this is double Death Knight, but Death Knight and Healer absolutely can knock this out. It's just past 30%, he starts healing quite significantly, so it's a lot harder if you're doing this as Death Knight and Healer. It just takes a lot longer than just double Death Knight. Really quickly, I do want to show you guys that if you don't actually have a key to Karazhan, which a lot of us don't on our fresh Death Knights, then you can actually still get inside of the raid really easily, even though there's a lot of people there generally opening it. Just run all the way around the actual instance itself, make this jump that you're going to see me miss right there. That's a theme for me right now. And then just run into this little corner. You will fall down into basically underneath Karazhan, and you can run directly into the portal. One thing though, Draenei females can't do this, and I'm actually not sure what other classes can't do this. Someone just let me know in the comments. Can someone just say like what other races or like character models can't do this so people can know who also will need to get a key themselves? But most people should be able to just instantly get into the instance themselves. Really fast, there's 2 specs I tend to advise people to use when doing any sort of solo farm. And this one in the background is one I theory crafted on stream to go into ZG and solo farm the mount bosses in there, like the Tiger mount and the Raptor mount. So this is the spec I would suggest for a lot of people that have less gear, because you take a lot less damage and you can also heal yourself a lot more. So again, just take a look at this spec. And now moving away from the blood spec, there is an unholy into blood spec that I think is a lot better actually for farming this, and probably better for farming the Raptor boss individually, or if you bug out the Tiger boss. But this is less of a solo farm spec and more of a duo farm spec. So this spec is a lot more damage if you are moving into the actually unholy tree. You don't want to get Scourge Strike because you don't want to waste your runes on things other than Death Strike, because you need to be healing yourself. And in the blood tree, you're getting improved rune tap. So you're going down to get improved rune tap. You have a permanent ghoul, which is doing a lot of damage for you, and you also have a ton of damage dealing talents. Now, the second spec is the spec that we actually see people like Zeroji using when he's soloing a lot of things. Huge shout out to Zeroji. I'll have a link to his Twitch in the actual description. This second spec, I think, is a lot more solid if you are trying to do more damage. And I think it really helps out if you're doing a double DK comp, which I personally think is going to be the easiest to do this. But if you are doing a comp where you are under geared, or you're going with the healer, again, actually with a healer and you do have gear, I would do the unholy spec. And if you are doing it and you're a little under geared, or if you just need more healing, then make sure you are the blood spec. And I just stay personally as the blood spec because I swapped between going in here, getting my weapon, and then just going straight to ZG. Respecking didn't really seem like something necessary for me. And one of the first things I want to point out is I would highly suggest not fighting this boss within the room he's already in. You're actually going to notice if I zoom forward to about 50%, a little past 50%, he summons a crazy amount of these sanguine spirits. And what they do is essentially just move around very slowly, but when they hit you for like 6,000 to 9,000 damage. And around 50%, he starts summoning a crazy amount of them. So you want to just tank them outside of the room. So now I've switched back over to my POV, and you can see I'm pretty much just going to slowly kite him around this right side of the room, or left side, whichever way I'm facing. I'm going to slowly kite him around this circle of the room, and then just dodge these sanguine spirits, because at 50%, when he summons like 50 of them, I can just run to the other side of the room. And by the time the spirits get there, they've already despawned. They're very, very easy to dodge. They move extremely slow, and you can pretty much ignore them as long as you're just kiting the boss around in a circle. The other big mechanic that the boss does is he links with one player in the raid. It's always going to be the person he's not targeting as a tank, unless you are trying to solo farm him. And because of this, if you are solo farming him, it's extremely hard to do. I don't know if it's possible unless you had like fully bis tank gear right now. But the person that is being linked to, and you can see it happening in the background, is taking all of the damage that you're doing to the boss to themselves. So it's going to be a long fight where the boss is actually redirecting a ton of damage to the other person. This is why you want a healer with you, not a second DPS, or another Death Knight who can heal themselves. You can also run with another tank that could heal, would be really nice. Then from there, you're pretty much just going to kite the boss around in a circle, just dodging all of these sanguine orbs like I mentioned. Around 40 to 30%, he starts going into a second phase. I'm not 100% sure what the actual percentage is, and I couldn't find it online. I think it is 30%. He goes into a new phase, and this phase is where he starts doing a blood tap ability, where he actually ticks another person in the raid for a good bit of health and heals himself. About every 15 seconds, he'll heal himself like 3 to 6%. It's crazy. This is why I suggest the more damage heavy spec more often than not, or trying to figure out a way to mortal strike the boss, because this healing effect will really add up over time, and it'll make this fight so incredibly long if you don't have a little bit of extra damage. Also, I should note, if you've already done Karazhan this week, it doesn't mean you can't do this boss. Even with a fully done ID, this boss did release this week, so he will be spawned in there as long as someone didn't go in within your current ID and kill him already. And that's pretty much it, guys. That's everything you need to know to go in and duo Prince Tenris Merkblood. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe if you want to see more DK solo content, DK any content really. And last reminder, I'm going to have a video on Monday going over all of the most asked questions for all Death Knights as they're learning the class. So everything you need to know, basically Death Knights for dummies. And if you comment on that video and you're subscribed to the channel, you will enter yourself instantly into a chance to win a free level 70 epic edition boost of Wrath of the Lich King with the mount, the 70 boost, all of the stuff that it comes with. And with that, thank you guys all for watching, and I'll see you all on the next one.